Hello, everyone. Welcome to Database Management course, BSAN 59400. My name is Sung Kim, and I will be your instructor for this course. And this is the lecture video for week number 1. Um, I am sharing with you the week number 1 from the Blackboard. I will go over what you need to know and do for week number 1. So I just want to briefly go over the layout of this Blackboard just in case. So you should be able to find all of the announcements under announcements. The syllabus will have the syllabus that I posted and should have your grades that you can look. And here's the brief information about how to get in touch with me. Here's the discussion postings that you need to do. Here's the resources. I just wanted to show you that there are all these resources and especially the links that you may need to look at when I mentioned look at the resource tab. And if you are doing some troubleshooting, you may also want to take a quick look at it here as well. But most pertinently for today, here's the week number 1. But maybe before I go over that, let me briefly go over the syllabus. So if you go over to syllabus and download this, I think I downloaded it already, so let me bring that over here. Make it a little bit bigger. So this should contain all the information about what this course is, when it starts, March 15 and Saturday, May 8th. It's the second session of the spring term. And my name, email, phone number, and basic information about the course. It'll be online. Let's see. Here's the required textbooks, which I may mention a little bit later as well. But this is a book. It's a lab book that you need to get access to. This is a lab platform, like a web-based lab platform. So I need you to subscribe to this, and I'll show you how to do that. I'll show you how to do that in a minute. The important note about in order for you to get credit for this Zybook subscription is that although you can log into their website directly, if you're doing the homework, then you need to click on the link from the Blackboard, which will take you to Zybook and sync your scores. So you can still go there by yourself directly if you want to browse and stuff, but for your grades to be syncing back to Blackboard, you need to initiate from the Blackboard. Let's see, here's some other items in here, and they can take a look. Here's a draft of how we're going to cover it and what we're going to cover in what sequence. So that may be useful for you. Some basic rating system. Let's see. Especially if there's a special need, please let me know right away. So if there's any accommodations that I need to make for you. With the pandemic going on, IT help may be a little bit tricky, but it's still out there for you. And you can read the rest of the material on your own. Okay, so take care of that. Let's hop over to week number 1. And so this is the usual layout of every week. And I will try to open up as many as I can sooner than later, rather than waiting for each week. But there's a usual list of objectives, instructional material. Let me see if I can make it a little bit bigger. And then instructional material will always contain a lesson plan, a lecture video, any other tips and suggestions and resources and references that may be useful for you. And then listing of assignments that you need to do. So for this week, I am assigning a discussion, which is just introduction. So click here to get to the discussion. And here's a list of assignments that I'm asking you to do. All right. So let me go over to the lesson plan and talk about those. So this is the lesson plan that I just updated with a few updates. But anyway, so here's a word of welcome. But I just want to highlight that this is your cover of the textbook, a lab textbook. So I don't care how you access them, but you need an access to that because we'll be following a lot of the activities in here. While this is a little bit old, the information that we're going to be learning from it will be very specific and useful and transferable to the later ones. The Zybook proves to be pretty useful because this course is a hands-on class, and I need you to be able to have not get tied down to a particular strategy, but be able to have a platform to play around. So go here and to sign up, right, and register for it. Okay. And then I mentioned to you about how to get grades. Make sure you launch that. So, like for example, let me see if I can do a quick demo. So you could go to Zybox here, and once you purchase it, you should be able to sign in, right? I'm going there directly. Let me see what my profile is on this one. This is Lewis one. So, and then you can click on whatever subscriptions that you have for this. And for this course, this is what we're using. And you can navigate and look at all this stuff here, right? But that's not, so you're welcome to do that, but that's not what you need to do, or you should do if you want to get credit for it, because to do that, you need to launch from here. We don't have a Zybook assignment per se, other than this access thing. So make sure that you launch from the Blackboard. Okay, so that's what I mean. Due dates and grades. Usually I'll give you 2 weeks to do your assignments. So the information that or the assignments that I'm assigning on the week of 11th or 15th, I should say. Let me bring this up here. And by the way, I named these tabs according to the week number and the date that is starting, and then when the due dates are. So it should be very clear for you as to when they are due. But typically, these are 2-week window periods. Okay, and you can still turn it in even if it's late. But I like to keep the course, the class moving in a smooth way, and you just tell me why you're late or something, and it should be okay. But there is a hard due date for this course because the course ends on Saturday, May 8th, and the course grades need to be submitted and people need to graduate. So make sure that you don't run into, don't do a lot of stuff on Saturday because, as the Murphy's Law goes, system may be down on that day, right, or something. So make sure you get it there earlier. I do kind of expect you to have a decent computer to be able to do the labs. I would expect that you to have an 8 gig of RAM. If you have like 4, I think that's a doable, but it may be a little sluggish. But my expectation is 8 gig. Lecture videos, or this objectives here, which will be evident in terms of what I'm going to talk about below. So lecture videos, because of the space is limited to 1 gig for the course, I am recording the lecture video using a third party, most likely Camtasia, and then I'll share the link for you to watch. Okay, so typically it'll be ready by Monday morning, if not sooner, but that's my strategy. And then here is a list of the assignments that I'd like you to do. And so for the first assignment, go and share about yourself in the discussion board. The next assignment is to make sure that I know that you have an access. It may be a little bit elementary, but I don't want to hear people saying I didn't get a book yet and in week number 5 or something. That is not a good setup. And sometimes it did happen to some students. So I just want to make sure that you got it. You don't have to get it now, but by the end of second week, preferably in the first week. But I want you to get them. I want some sort of proof that you got it. Same thing for the Zybook access. I don't want you to wait until the, later, because this is an 8-week term course and the week's going to go by pretty quick. And so I do want you to get access to it sooner than later. The due date is the end of the second week, but that is just kind of like, worst case, right? So make sure you kind of get that taken care of and be ready to go. It'll be, good for you. There is a short written assignment. I'm not looking for a page or anything like that. Just a short response, right? So maybe even written response. So let's just say short written response assignment. Okay, so maybe I'll post this up. But basically, and you don't even really need a textbook for this. So you can just kind of look around and, based on what you know, or do a little quick research, or look at the instructional material here. I posted a PowerPoints from another book, as well as the, so those should be helpful for you, but you can just search online and should be able to get some. But basically, I just want you to be aware, if not already, what the difference between database and database management system is, and what the advantages and disadvantages are, and what kind of platforms there are, what's available out there, right? So just quick few lines, that should be plenty. And then maybe, as a way of this assignment, this course is a hands-on class. It's important to understand things, but at the end of the day, people will not hire you for your understanding. But people will hire you for what you can demonstrate, right? Which is sort of reflective of your understanding. But we'll be heavily relying on activities and labs. So there is no quizzes or exams. So yay for that one, right? But I'd like you to begin to do some of these. So the first lab activity that I'm asking you to do is to download and install a VirtualBox on your computer. You don't have to use a VirtualBox. You could use a VMware, but I'm going to be using VirtualBox in my demonstration, so I think it'll be nice to be consistent. But if you use anything else, I am going to just focus on giving directions using the VirtualBox. So basically, all you got to do is just go to their website, download the program, and install it. You don't have to do anything else. We will next week we will configure the VirtualBox, because we will be downloading and installing the the Windows server onto that virtual machine. Okay. There's also a how to install the VirtualBox here instructions. So if you download that, you should get this. Which is really simple. So if we just go there, as a quick demo, whatever platform you have, you can download this one here, or you can download previous edition. It doesn't really matter, okay? But download them and install. And so that's all you have to do. Let me just show you and take a screenshot that you did this, all right, and then submit it. But let me just do a quick demo of what I have. So here's a VirtualBox that I have downloaded. I have other OSs installed. You don't need to do any of that. You just need to get this one installed. Next week, we're going to install the Windows Server OS, and then we'll go on from there. But this is how mine looks like, okay? All right, let's see. So I think that's pretty much it. Next week, I just mentioned to you that we're going to configure the VirtualBox and installing the server, okay? So let me kind of wrap it up by going over what we talked about. So here is the first week of the this course in Blackboard. I went over briefly on what's on the left-hand pane. I went over the objectives and instructional materials and all of the assignments, okay? And as well as a little kind of showing of how the VirtualBox looks like. Well, I just want to get to the point and just not waste your time. So this is the beginning week. Actually, the course hasn't even started, but just want to give you a heads up. So, as always, if you have any questions, just email me. That's probably the best way to get a hold of me. Just looking forward to working with you. Stay safe, and look forward to receiving your work. And I'll be timely in response. Take care. This is it. Thank you. Bye bye.